could see the ocean. Oh, I could see these chains fall off of me. Oh, I could feel the breeze. Oh, it's like change has come for me. I feel like I done some healing, baby. Yeah, yeah. These scars, they are sealing, baby. See, I don't trip about much, that's a waste. I think about the love I can make. I'm thinking about frosted flakes. I scream it out loud nowadays. Life's got sprinkles, cupcake, everything's sweet. Everything's sweet. Everything is sweet like chocolate cake. Sweet like chocolate cake. I'm feeling this emotion. This emotion, baby. This emotion. It feels like my winter's past. I feel the sunshine at last. I used to be hopeless. Those days is done. I'm hearing your feet won't fail you, son. I feel like I done some healing, baby. Yeah, yeah. It's like I got no ceiling, baby. Yeah, got a limp and a fractured face, and with the fat lip all sexy, tatted on my fucking face. Nothing you can do to me sticks. I can make sugar out of bullshit. Everything's sweet. Everything's sweet. Everything is sweet like chocolate cake. Sweet like chocolate cake.
More places, they don't know that I exist yet. A lot of industry names asking why we ain't friends yet. Your compliments are just blunt smoke, like a cigarette. I'ma say it with my chest. Yes, the palm, keep it in check. Confrontations over conversations and text. They wanna solve it with fists. Somebody get their lip cracked. Blistex over what? Who the bigger man? That's a big mess. You can't catch a break. The fast break will get your rim checked. Who next? You next? Yeah, I heard you. Big flex. We'll see how long that list get. The talented get picked less. It's 1 a.m. I should get rest. But not when I got some things left to do. So I'ma stay up to the moon, go. Stay up to the moon, go blue. Everybody think they so cool. Got a lot to do. Stay up to the moon, go. Stay up to the moon, go blue. Everybody think they so cool. Got a lot to do, yeah. Stay up to the moon. Success is knowing how to work the algorithm. Spend too much time on that, you'll never get around to spitting. Too many people are power driven. Too many people don't put in the time with the hours given, and wonder why the tire tipping, and then questioning our existence. Is this as loud as it gets? I put in the hours for this. I stayed up to the moon. Stay up to the moon, go blue. Everybody think they so cool. Got a lot to do. Stay up to the moon. Stay up to the moon, go blue. Everybody think they so cool. Got a lot to do. careful what you wish, you might just get what you asking for. You try but change stick, this ain't fetch, get a Labrador. Tell them how you really feel, I said that's what the lab is for. Falls into the category of things I have a passion for. That's for sure, people like to talk, I like action more. People treating love like a last resort. Too many get the ball, wonder why would they pass it for? Why they feel okay with an average score? I need a 10, give me a 10, even though it's just opinions. I need a trophy, you can't coach me, don't toss me no ribbons. Yeah, you focused on the trends, you only care for what was in, then your career disappeared. You a better magician.
Stay up till the moon go blue. Everybody think they so cool. Got a lot and got a lot to do. Stay up till the moon. Stay up till the moon go blue. Everybody think they so cool. Got a lot and got a lot to do. Yeah. Stay up till the moon. Stay up till the moon go blue. Everybody think they so cool. Got a lot to do, yeah. Stay up to the
Hello. Good morning. Good morning it is for some people. Today, I don't really know what the plan is today. I'm going to stream for a couple hours. Some of you might have known, New World came out recently. I don't know if anybody's out there playing MMOs. But me and my sister have been absolutely addicted to it. So that's what I've been spending my time doing. Obviously, I've been watching the market. I've been throwing up some ideas in the Discord, short term for what I thought was going to happen. We did have one plan yesterday. That was a previous short. I'll go ahead and cover that in a second. I'm just obviously doing the intro right now. There's no face cam today anyways. I look like a hot mess. Typical PC gamer type hot mess. And my room's a trash. So no camera today. All right, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. And I do want to get back on a regular schedule coming here soon, because this now just changed a lot. All right. Now, all to be determined. And, you know, this is obviously my plan moving forward. Obviously, I'm not saying the market, this is what the market is going to be. But for right now, with us just breaking past that previous high, until we come back down below it, I cannot assume that this C wave is at an end. I just can't. With that being said, I have moved some of my of the account into inverse perpetual, just in case. All right, that's my plan moving forward. In terms of any long position, because we cashed out on a long position just a couple days ago. I gave that signal in the Discord when I did so, and that was the hedge long from the bottom. Let me go ahead and switch it over quick. I mean, there's no webcam anyways. There we go. All right, so just quick recovery, you know, talking about everything we missed in the past couple of weeks. As I left off, I do believe it was either the 27th or the 26th, something like that. We were talking about how the long hedge was right here. We had the short position from the top of this structure right here. ABC. We took that short and we were holding on to it. But at the same time, we saw the larger structure form. Downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. Now, if you were lucky enough, obviously I wanted this position, but like I said, I don't know what I was doing at the time. I might have been sleeping. I'm not quite sure what was going on. But if anybody had an opportunity to hang on to this long, I'm sure you are sitting pretty right now. You could see on the end of this C wave right here of the larger structure, it was clear as day. That was a long position. If you did get into that, congratulations. You're sitting pretty at the moment. Me personally, like I said, I was just targeting the 0.441 of the larger ABC to the downside, the long position right here. And I took profits between 47K and 45K, 46K. And moving forward, like I said, as long as we're above this last local high, Obviously, the macro structure is looking like a gigantic ABC. So, like I said, I am still kind of hoping that it goes to the downside. I don't think it's quite ready to move up yet. I mean, it's just, if it is, it's going to be fast, and the top is going to be phenomenal. I'm sure a lot of you guys have been following what's going on in the world. You guys know me. I don't like to look at news. I'm not big on that. But when you see these potential dominoes lining up, how can you not really notice what's about to happen? It feels like they're going for one more push on this gold rush that they got going right now. And I'm sure once, Chinese real estate market collapses, maybe a new strain of COVID, we got so many things that we can stir in this pot of just miscellaneous bullshit that could bring the entire economy collapsing. Obviously, giving me some room for liberties. I don't mean collapsing in terms of like, the economic reset, but in terms of, a healthy correction. That I think that with the state of how our government and our economy moves, we tend to, instead of having healthy corrections, we tend to have very, very violent corrections, and then we go on another 10-year grace period. Usually how it goes. So I feel like this is one last push to the upside. I haven't checked any stocks today. Let me see AMD real quick. That's the one that I'm particularly interested in. Unfortunately, AMD's not popping back up. For anybody that's interested in regular stocks, I am particularly watching this structure right here to buy a little bit more into AMD. Like I said, I'm not a big stock guy, but AMD is one of the stocks that I've been holding for since $7. So I'm sitting pretty, so I can feel like I can add more. Like I said, that's kind of my game plan right now. I mean, there's not really much going on. I don't have any open positions. I just want to kind of stream while the market's popping. Everybody's like, hey, you only stream when the market goes down. So I figured I throw a curveball. But in the past couple of weeks, like I said, I've been playing New World, just chilling out with some old friends. And unfortunately, in the past 2 days, I don't know what's going on. I feel like a grandpa over here with gout. My left foot has swollen up, and you can see, you can actually see up here in the tab. I was doing more and more research on intermittent fasting. Not necessarily research. I've done probably as much as I possibly can do at this point. But when I'm trying to get into something, I kind of have to it's like a fish trying to catch a hook. I have to kind of entice my ADHD brain to get hyper interested into something if I want to get it done in any way, shape, or form. So I kind of have to throw the fishing line out there to see if it can catch my brain a little bit. So that's what I've been doing recently, because this swollen foot thing has me worried, and I'm, obviously that's putting a little bit more pressure on me to start acting right. But if anybody's playing New World, you should definitely join the company. But in terms of the macro, all right, so obviously we have the larger structure. If you, I mean, that's technically macro to most people. Everybody's playing on the 5-minute time frame. But in terms of the macro structure, like I said, as long as we're above this A right here, I can't assume that the C wave is going to end. And obviously the macro structure is one gigantic uptrend, break into a downtrend over here. Let me go ahead and fix that real quick. Break into a downtrend. And it looks like, with us putting in a C wave, for right now, in between this zone, let me go ahead and mark it out for you. In between 53K and whatever this top is, let me go ahead and hold that. There we go. And 65K. I can't assume that it's going to end. So between this region right here, unless I see a valid ABC structure starting on the, I would say the 1 hour time frame, I'm kind of on the sidelines. Like I said, I put some of my money into inverse perpetual, so that way if we do continue up, I'll be going ahead and getting those gains. If we do happen to dip below this line, in terms of my actual inverse perpetual, Like, what would be the point where I would turn it back into USDT? I'm giving myself a bigger buffer than usual. I'm doing 5%, just because when it comes to that kind of conversion, you don't want to mess around too much because you're messing with a large portion of your portfolio. You don't want to keep flipping back and forth, especially when it comes to the gigantic resistances like this. You're going to get messed up, destroyed. All right. And obviously, if we do happen to, push past 65K, it is rolling. All right. If we do get to that point, we get past 65K. All right. I'm going to be taking breakout trades for a good while. Reason being, just like when we were back down at 20,000 and we just broke the all-time high, so much money is flooding into the market that it has the force to make good breakout trades. Once you start seeing those breakout trades start to kind of diminish off, that's when you're getting a sense that you're not quite at the top of the market, but you're getting close to it. All right. So at the moment, it's still in that kind of flux zone. If we do happen to see this turn into, let's see. I'll go ahead and mark those out again. All right, so we got 65K and we got 63K. If we do happen to see something like this, boom, 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 I'll be taking that short position. That's clear as day. We'll see if it happens. Right now, we're in the very, very, I would say like the last 25% of whatever this move is, to see if we're going to find support and continue moving on. I don't know if the wave is over. Like I said, all right, as long as we're above the previous A, the top of the A, all right, we can assume that the C wave is not done. So vice versa, if we are below the top of the A wave, we can assume that the top of the C wave has been put in, and we will start a corrective wave to the downside after that. Just like we did right here, right? We had, depending on how you want to, show this right here. If you want to look at it just from this structure, right? Once we are back below the A, we can assume that a corrective structure will continue. And then right here, how do you know that the corrective structure is over? Well, we had A, we had B, we had C. And once we were able to maintain above this price level, we saw price return to the upside from there. That's why we took the long hedge. All right. And I want that to be what's the word I'm looking for? I'm very tired. I'm sorry. Stayed up all night playing video games. It's not a healthy habit, but, that's why we took the long hedge. I was very adamant about my opinion on the market, what my macro structure, what my ideas were. And I was very short, but I want that to be an example of, even though my opinions might lie with this, I need to be able to take the trades that need to be taken if the time is right. And there's a lot of people that seem to still be confused by hedge trading. All right, it's not a very complicated subject. All right, if we have a short trade from the top of this structure and we're holding that short, and if we are in 3K profit at this point right here, if we take a trade of equal value to the upside, we're holding 2 trades now. If we were to return to the entry of this trade, it would have just saved my profit. It's basically like locking in your profit and giving you an out, right? And obviously you always have the person that is greedy and they go, well, why didn't you just take profits on your short and then enter the long? You would have made double the money. You can try that, all right? Now, obviously you can have a swing account where you do this type of thing, and you can have a scalp account where you're willing to play like that, but that wasn't the name of the game for me. So take it as you will. Like I said, it's better to be safe than sorry, safe than greedy. And that's what we chose to do. So we walked out with 3K. Obviously, the top profit that we were looking for, once we got down to that 38K mark, I think was 5,400. So pretty good. And like I said, I'm very excited for what's going on. Like I said, I do want to get a kind of new schedule going here shortly. I still got some things to figure out. Obviously, New World's taking up a big part of my life right now as well. But I do want to start another challenge account. Now, obviously, if you're paying attention, this is the time to do so. All right. Why am I looking to start a new challenge account? If we stay above this level, and obviously the big kicker, if we break the all-time high, that is the best time to build a new account. All right, you saw what I did with the $100 portfolio. That's the time to take advantage of those crazy types of markets. Now, obviously, big contingency on this, make sure that if you are going to do anything of the such, you are lowering your risk as the account grows. All right, some people be increasing it, and I don't understand. All right, so I'm not gonna be like doing like a play-by-play. Obviously, like, you know, it's gonna be normal, you know, streaming, everything like that. I'm not gonna be hyper active, like posting every single little thing that I do with it. Just because with the last starter portfolio, too many people were taking the idea that I had with the $100 portfolio and applying it to $1,000 portfolios, $2,000 portfolios. You can't do that if you have to be willing to lose. And people can lie to themselves very easily. Oh, I can lose 2K. No, you can't. All right. Depending on who you are, you know. Right. Now I'm looking at the chat more. Like I said, I don't have the webcam on, so obviously I can't see it. I'm looking at the other screen, but I'm looking at you guys. Get your doctor to write a script for cocaine. I don't have, okay, so it's definitely not gout. I've looked up pictures of what gout looks like. It's not gout. It's just swollen. Obviously WebMD, you know, likes to just scare the shit out of people for no reason. You know, talking about liver failure, heart disease, a bunch of other stuff. Obviously, I'm a man, so, I mean, doctors are my thing, and that's why men don't live as long. I've kind of given myself a deadline. If it doesn't get better within 3 days, I'm going to be cutting out a lot of salt, obviously soda, drinking more water, stuff like that, elevating the foot. See what happens. If it takes more than 3 days, I'll go to the doctor. Are you diabetic? No. I'd like to know the outlook on the stock market. We can look like the US 100. See what's going on. So obviously this looks bad. Now, anybody spot anything interesting in the market right now? Anybody see something interesting on their screen? Be on the lookout for that. Is the pain in your big toe? No, so like the foot itself, like I can walk on it. The only thing that causes me pain is sometimes like I'll push my foot up against something and I'll like bend my toes backwards. And yeah, that's pretty painful. I don't know why. Is it red or warm to the touch? No, it's not red or warm. It's just skin. Oh, don't be telling me that kind of stuff. All right, you know how mental magic works. All right, you start getting ideas in my head. That's what's gonna be. That's what's gonna happen. Like I said, cutting out salt, cutting out soda, going on the intermittent fasting, taking it serious. This is like the first like sign that, yeah, the jig is up. all right, my body's like, long enough. All right, it was fun while it lasted, you know, but we gotta get in shape. Like I said, if none of that helps, in 3 days, I'll be going to the doctor, seeing what's up, and seeing if they find anything. How do you identify if the corrective ABC waves are over? Well, I mean, you can't, I mean, people think like it's a said and done thing. Obviously, it's not, all right? But a good rule of thumb, like I said, is when you identify an ABC corrective pattern, all right? If you are back above the A after putting in a lower low, then you can assume that the move to the downside is done. Now, unfortunately, you will have times where it is going back and forth, all right, showing a little bit of indecision in the market, all right, but that's also building up a lot of volume in liquidity for the market to move fast like it is. All right, so I mean, it could easily go into the downside if the bears won, but that's not the world that we're living in right now. Maybe in a parallel universe, you know, that person's having a fun time. Stream New World, bro? I would. I definitely would. But unfortunately, some of the people that I play with are not stream friendly. Not in terms of like anything like actually bad in terms of like racism or anything like that. But they are, you know, they're yeah. Now, flat corrections, those ones I can't really tell. All right, like I said, in terms of like what happened with this, if we're looking at the BTC USDT chart for Bybit, all right, Bybit did not put in a lower low. All right, this from Bybit's perspective, we put in an ABC flat correction. Now, like I said, all right, you don't necessarily have to get a lower low. There is always a point to see if a flat is going to stick. All right, for me personally, that was this move right here. So we had A, B, and now we're looking for the ABC C wave. All right, this is where I took my long position from. All right, now I only held it up until like right here or something like that. But after that, we waited for a top, had the pullback. I don't believe we caught that bottom, but we did catch that short in its entirety. And then we caught this short. I did not catch it long. This one I went on vacation. So if it is going to be a flat correction, there is always a point to get in. All right. Most of the time, like I said, I'm not going to say every single time. But if you look at the bull market over here, we've showed this off many, many times before. A, B, C. A, B, C. A, B, C. It's like clockwork. All right. So if you can identify this pattern, you're going to be able to at least get a good buy-in. All right. If you're not feeling comfortable playing those ranges and getting stopped out, obviously wait on that. But that is the basic premise of everything that I do now. And like I said, I mean, you can apply this to stocks. I mean, look at stocks in the past. Not every single time has it happened. There's been a couple times where I just don't see it. Or it's something like this, where it is an ABC flat, not a flat correction, an ABC correction, but you necessarily wouldn't have been able to get the greatest buy-in. But, I mean, if you look at it comparatively, all right, you might have not gotten the bottom, but look at what you did get. At the moment, if you would have got this ABC, you're still sitting 555% in profit on Tesla. All right. Now, if you're willing to go down to a little bit smaller time frame, you got this one right here. You got A, B, C. You could have got that buy-in. This one, I can see it on a smaller time frame. A, B, C. That buy-in right there, you would have gotten stopped out probably. But then as soon as it comes back below that line, you re-add the position, let it ride. And right here, I mean, look at, I mean, this is Tesla. This isn't crypto. All right, A, B, C. All right. Market held above it a majority of the time. You probably would have gotten stopped out 2-4 times, but right now you're sitting 28% in profit. Obviously, it's stock, so it's not much to really like ogle at, but it's still good percentages. And obviously, like I said, my whole thing, I don't hold many stocks. I hold stuff that I'm related to or interested in, such as AMD, Nvidia, Intel, stuff like that. Because I mean, the gaming market only gets bigger and bigger and bigger as new technologies come out, and PCs get faster and more cheaper to pump to the masses. And this is the structure that I'm watching on AMD at the moment. You can see the last one right here. A, B, C. Put in a lower low. Grab it. Right here. A, B, C. Grab it. So I mean, it's like clockwork. I mean, at this point, I don't know if this is a joke. We put it. I mean, it wasn't much, but we did put it on lower low there. See right there. Put in a lower low. Right here. This one was kind of long and drawn out, depending on how you want to draw it. You got A, B, C. Grab it. But, I mean, if you look at the most stocks as a whole, and we've talked about this before, some of you guys might have heard me use the term the market's getting thin. And what I mean by like, you'll see the cool off periods get shorter and shorter and shorter as we get close to the top. All right, when it starts to get thin like that, it could be a signal that things are starting to move in terms of a market top. Will we see 30K again? Don't know. Like I said, I can only take it a day at a time. At the moment, things have changed. My plan has changed. You guys know that I was adamantly short. I was expecting 29K. But despite my entire opinion on the market, why was I still taking longs? Because they had to be taken. If you see an ABC to the downside, and we are currently above the A, that's a signal to long. You could still be in a short and hedge, or you can take profits on your short and then take the long. It's up to you. Me personally, I'd rather take the hedges. Now at the moment, as long as we're above 52,864, C-Wave's not done. It's not done. We can go all the way back up to the all-time high. And if we get past the all-time high, C-Wave's not done until we get back below it. Obviously, past that point, we're still going to be looking for ABCs for the next market top. But we're not really going to see anything major until we get back below 66, 64. Let me see if the New World servers came back up online. They're down for maintenance right now. Nope, not yet. Can you explain how you trade breakout trades? Of course. So let's use the previous bull run, for example. All right, so this was what I did for this. Let's go down to a 1 hour. That should be good. All right, so for the breakout trades, I can see right here, this was our resistance. Now, obviously, I was looking at the 20K mark, the last all-time high, but then it became this as time went on. All right. It's as simple as this. If we break above that line, I go long. Now, you might be asking, what do I target? I don't target anything. All right, if we're moving past an all-time high into price discovery, there is absolutely nothing telling us where price should lie. All right, so we have to kind of go with the flow. And that's literally what it is. It's going with the flow. All right, so we take the long as we break out. And then I set my stop loss below. I think at that time I was probably using somewhere like a 2% to 1.5% because I was playing a little bit differently, but your price might, your stop might vary. All right, now in terms of going with the flow, what does that mean? All right, that means letting price action do what it do. And that's where the whole phrase came from. Letting price action do what it do, taking profit where it's due. All right. So we let price go up. We let it retrace. Now, then you always have the guy that's screaming, well, Austin, what if it retraces all the way back to my stop loss? If you're breaking in, like, I can't reiterate this enough. If you're breaking an all-time high, not a previous resistance, specifically an all-time high, there's so much buying power behind that, I would not worry. That does not mean that, oh, I shouldn't worry, so let me use more risk. That's not what that means. All right? Play it safe. Use good risk, but let price action do what it do and sit on your thumbs. All right. I forgot what I was watching. I think it was Trader Tom. And he was talking about one of these high level stock traders. And he goes, the hardest part about doing this is teaching someone to sit on their thumbs. Because once you get into a trade, all right, the only thing that can screw it up is you. That's the only thing. All right. So I let it come back down. But in doing so, we have now created our first resistance of the bull run. And that was 24,000. All right. So now I let price action come back down and I set my take profit for a little bit below our last resistance. All right. Because if we are going to get rejected there and come back down for any, miraculous reason, we're at least going to come back up and test it. That's how the market works. We go back up when we test it. If we fail, we move down to the next lower point. All right, so we took our profit, but now that gives us a new resistance to create a new breakout trade. So from there, I took a breakout, and yes, I did get stopped out on this because, like I said, I think at the time I was using a 1.5%, 2%. I forgot. All right, so I got stopped out once. But then once we come back above that line, I am long again. Just like with the ABC method, it's all about setting up parameters for where you want to be in the market and where you would like to get out, and abiding by those rules that you set up before. All right, if you start fluctuating, that's where the mistakes start to happen. All right, so right here, we let the market do what it do. So the market goes up, market comes down. All right, we didn't get stopped out. All right, so now we created a new resistance. So we go ahead and we mark it out. We go ahead and we set our take profit for the new resistance a little bit beforehand, just in case it doesn't exactly make a double top. All right, so we take our profit and we make the next trade. Now, this was definitely a rough time to be alive. I forgot exactly what happened during this period. I don't know if I caught the short. I don't know if I caught the short, but I definitely caught the bottom. But in terms of what happened, we went up, we went down. So I just played it as normal. We created a new resistance. Take profit right there. And I took another breakout trade right here. And we got stopped out again. But that was the first major failure. At that moment, obviously it sucks, but look at the past successes. Depending on what your stop loss was, You know, you got a 14 risk reward ratio, you got a 10, you got a 13. So what? You fail one. All right, but then we go ahead, and if we do come back above that resistance, we take the breakout trade again, we let price action do what it do, and we keep moving forward. Now, right here was when I started to adopt the structure. And I believe at this point in time, I forgot what Ethereum was doing, but I knew at the time we were using Elliott Wave, and we were predicting a top around like 2,800 on Ethereum. Where are we at right now? We are all the way back here. So it was around this time, and I was counting a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern. We had a 1, we had a 2, we had a 3, 4, we had a 5. And I was predicting the top of the 3 to be around 1932. Odd number. And you can see, landed quite correctly. And then after that, we were looking for the bottom to be around the 0.382 of the third wave. Where'd you look at that? And then I was calling the top of the market at around 3,100. For everybody that was watching the live streams at the time, obviously things were moving fast. I ended up cashing out Ethereum around 35K, not 35K, 3,500. And then I cashed out BTC around 55K. Because when Ethereum was hitting that $3,100 to $3,500 mark, BTC was at its top. Obviously, Ethereum kept moving past that point, which did kind of shake my resolve about the way the market was going to go. But I stood by it. And everything worked out quite well. So, there we go. So that's how you breakout trade. Hopefully that was a good explanation. When you say once we are back up, do you wait for a candle to close? I usually don't wait for candle closes. I go based off of real time. The second, and I literally mean the second that we put in a lower low, second that we put in a higher high, I am now just, obviously I'm not watching it like a hawk, but I have that conditional order set up immediately. I don't care if it goes 1 cent lower low in order to get a long. I don't care if it goes 1 cent higher to get a short. Ryan, what's going on, buddy? Good morning. Do you think the market got smart? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I'm not saying that from a place of like condescending tone. Hopefully it doesn't come across like that. It's just, if you look at it as a whole, all right, with BTC, crypto in general being so new, all right, comparative to last bull market, there is probably 75% more than the old timers. Because you have to imagine how much money came into this market this time. And I mean, look at NFTs. If you think that's not smart, that's not smart. Now, don't get me wrong, like NFTs, like the premise of it, just like Bitcoin, right? The premise of it is excellent. What it's actually being used for might be different. I can get by NFT gaming. I have yet to see, a real NFT game. I've seen trailers. I've seen talks. We've had like, what's the Decentraland, stuff like that. But I haven't seen anything. The problem is greed. Everybody and their mother that has any sort of sense of how to code a game or is just able to use Unreal Engine 5 or 4 is trying to cash in on this whole NFT gaming thing. And the problem is that they're going to be putting the NFTs first and the game second. They should flip it. If you have a game that is fun to play and NFTs are a feature, you're going to have a longevity that is going to add to your profits. But I feel like people are rushing products out and it's not going to work. It's going to tank. Me personally, you know, like I've talked about the NFT horses that I've owned, and you know, stuff like that. That's pretty cool. It's like a little mini game. You own the product. It provides, you know, some enjoyment. It's a good game. It's, you know, obviously gambling. It's horse racing, but it's a good game. It was very simple. But when people are trying to go for these extravagant games like Star Citizen lookalikes, the problem is like I feel like a lot of people that are involved in crypto, I would say like a good majority of them are involved with gaming as well. But one thing that gamers know, or at least should know by this time because we got burned so many times, one, the golden rule is don't ever pre-order games, right? Because until you have the working product in your hands and you can see it and feel it and you can play it and you can see that you're going to have foreseeable enjoyment with this game, that's the only time that they should have your money. Don't ever pre-order, and as well as that, don't hype up things before that anybody from the public has been able to touch them. Even if it's a gameplay trailer where they're walking through the game. We've seen that happen with Cyberpunk 2077. So, I mean, come on. There's too much money floating around these NFT games before anything is shown. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of smart people that know this and they're just kind of cashing in on the craze. But I feel like there's a ton more people than that small percentage that are going to be absolutely and utterly burned. And it hurts. Because it's not the super rich. All right, because the super rich, they're super rich for a reason. All right, now, they might have fallen into the money through inheritance, but if they're able to keep that money, it's because they're actually smart. Doesn't mean that they're owed it because someone else built up a company or something, but they have the wits to be able to control that money from that point on. They know how to manage their risk, but a lot of people, they don't. So they're throwing everything at these shit coins and these NFTs, hoping to God that they come out with something on top. And it sucks. Because I'm seeing so much bad stuff come from this. And it hurts because crypto, it's supposed to be like hope for the people. But if you lose all your money before the thing's even taking off, you're left in the dust. Be smart. Control the biology you were set up with and make better decisions. I'm good at the financial stuff. You can criticize me on the health stuff. I'm not good at that. I'm working on it. But you got it's a hard game. I want to turn on my air conditioner. If it starts making noise from the microphone, let me know. Because preaching like this, I feel like a southern pastor. I don't know what's got me into this morning. I think it's just because I'm having withdrawals from New World. Nope, still down? Still down? Yep. But hey, if anyone's playing New World, let me know on Discord. I'll invite you to the company. I'll be glad to have you. How's Ethereum doing? It's usually taking off a little bit more than Bitcoin. What's your PC specs? I got let me see. I forgot what processor I have. I think I have a, oh, come on. Okay, so I got a Ryzen 7 5800X, and then I got 32 gigabytes of RAM and a 3090. And we rocking with that Windows 11. We got rounded corners now. There's nowhere to run, Mac. We got rounded corners. What's New World about? It's just like your typical MMO. It's Amazon's first game. I've been playing it for like the past week. And it's fun. You know, it's a lot of grinding, like getting your levels up. You know, if you ever play like any other MMO. You know, you got dungeons you gotta go through, stuff like that. Do you have a conditional short at 53K? Yes, I do. Actually, that's a lie. No, I don't. I was getting it set up as I was logging on. But right now it looks like we're just kind of chilling above that, so I'm not too worried about it at the moment. I will put that in later. Absolutely, man. Like, I've been researching intermittent fasting, I think, since I was 16. So about 5 years. So, there's a lot of like people that would go like, it's just a fad. No, it's been around for a very long time. And there's a lot of research done on it. It's not just a fad. Me personally, I did it for about 6 months and I lost a good 30 pounds. And I felt fantastic. The only thing that kind of got me out of it was relationship and being social. I mean, you just know how it is. Like, if you ever done like any type of diet and having to go to dinner, it's especially hard with intermittent fasting because let's say your eating window is a 6-hour eating window and you want to eat between 10 and 4. All right. So, or 10 and 3. All right. So you can have lunch and everything like that, but then someone asks you out to dinner. What, are you just going to sit at the table with them? No, you got to grab something. And then slowly over time of that happening, it knocks you out of it. Or at least it does for me. Would you recommend Bybit for spot trading? No, not personally. Bybit isn't exceptionally well at derivatives, but for trackability, just use your regular exchanges. I feel like there's no ABC in this uptrend. You're absolutely correct. There is just an A. You just have an A. That's what I was saying before. We have the larger ABC structure right here. A, B, C. And that's what I was saying. You know, I don't see an ABC yet. We're looking for something like that, you know, to form at some point. Do you trade traditional chart patterns for swing trades? No. Well, yes and no. Depends on how you look at it. All right. I trade ABCs. Uptrend, downtrend, uptrend, downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. All right. Now, if it turns into a traditional quote unquote pattern, I really don't care. I'm just trading the ABC supports and resistances. All right. So if we did an A and a B and a C, and I was long off of this A, and we just so happen to come down like this and form a head and shoulders, so be it. I'm not trading the patterns. I'm just trading ABCs. I'm trading trends. What is the win chance? What is the win chance of your strategy? Public side, like what I will promote to you and what I can comfortably say, you know, because my whole thing is just integrity in terms of like, you know, not getting people's, you know, hopes up. I'm not here to peddle you a dream of quitting your 9-to-5 in 2 months. All right. But it's through consistency and math. All right. So if you're consistently hitting 9 restored ratio trades and you only have a 15% win chance, which is usually like the lowest I've seen. All right. You are going to be successful long term because it's just math. That's all it is. Me personally, I'm usually sitting around 20 to 22%. Reason being is one, I tend to play the larger time frames. Other people, they like to play smaller time frames because they think if they take more trades, you know, they're going to compound faster and all that jazz, which you can, but you have much more inconsistency on the smaller time frames for 2 reasons. One, it can be more volatile. Two, all right, most people that are looking at smaller time frames are not tracking the larger ones. All right, in order to be successful on the smaller time frames, you have to track so many structures to get down to the one that you're actually playing in order to be successful at it. Most people are missing that part. Can you draw an ABC on ETH, please? Yeah, sure. All right, so the last major ABC on ETH was right here. We had A, we had B, we had C. Boom. If we come back below the A, you're short. So right now, the larger ABC on ETH is this. A, B, C. Now this is on the 15-minute time frame. Now if we're looking at like the larger time frame here, all right, we're still in the midst of it. Which is another reason why if we already put in an ABC and we're past the A right here, that's kind of telling me that the market is kind of ready to go up. In terms of the downside, it was the same exact structure. Now, the only difference between BTC and Ethereum that I can see, you can see Ethereum had the same structure. We had downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. If we come back above the A, you're long from that point. All right, so we had the same structure in terms of the corrective pattern. The only difference is, all right, is in how you would have gotten the short off of this. All right, on Ethereum, you can see after the big downtrend, we put in a lower point. Then we had uptrend, downtrend, uptrend. You can even see in the middle of that, downtrend, uptrend, downtrend, put in a low. You could have caught that bottom and played it to the top if you wanted to. Is you would have had to play this larger structure right here. Instead of on BTC put in a different structure. Instead of having the big bounce, downtrend, uptrend, downtrend, and having a more clear cut like that, we instead put in an uptrend, downtrend, uptrend on this last wave. And that's where I caught my short from. Do I use a 0.5% stop loss in Bybit at... Oh, wait, I'm reading two messages at the same time. Going cross-eyed. When you're breakout trading in a bull run, do you use a 0.5% stop loss for BTC? To be determined. I don't know if I will. In the past, with the 20K bull run, in terms of breaking the all-time high of 20K and then getting to where we are now, I was using about like a 1.5 to 2%. So I don't know if I will use a 0.5% going forward in the future. We'll just have to see. I haven't really made that decision yet. What's your take profit target for the ABC strategy? Right now, it's in a state of flux. There is no take profit for this. We have hit the take profit on the large structure. We have hit the take profit on the smaller structure. Right now, we're waiting to see if this larger ABC is going to end. Right now, until we are either one, putting in a uptrend, downtrend, uptrend that I can short here. All right. Obviously, I don't know if we're going to top out there. I don't know if that's the actual top of this A, but unless we have an opening position for a short through this trend in particular, all right, not the larger trend here, all right, I have to assume that we're not going to stop. Like I said, if we are above the A, the C wave's not done. If we're above the A, the C wave is not done. Once we come back below the A, that's when I can go ahead and open a short position because I can assume that the C wave is done and we're moving down into a larger corrective pattern from that point on. All All right. But right now, we could go all the way back up. We could go all the way back up. And if we go ahead and put in a new all-time high here, and that's when I'm going to start breakout trading for a little bit until the market starts to slow down. But right now, between these two zones, I really can't do much. Like I said, the most that I've done is as long as we are above this line by 5%, I'm going to maintain some of my capital in inverse perpetual. So that way, if we do continue up, at least my account can enjoy, you know, a nice 20% gain. Am I going to hedge long? I already hedged long. We took profits on it. My hedge long was down here. I took profits at the 0.441 of this smaller structure right here. Took 3K profit, got out. Actually, I did not take profit at that. We took profit right here as we were approaching our entry. And then I still had, not this, my bad. I still hedged short. Like, after we took profits on the long, I still held my short the entire time. And I ended up getting stopped out on that. And once we came back below it here, I reopened it. And I got stopped out again. What is your trade strategy once we're getting price discovery? We covered that in terms of breakout trading. If we break an all-time high, the amount of money that comes into the market is going to be phenomenal. So for a short period, right, we're going to be taking breakout trades. I shouldn't say were, all right? I'm going to be taking breakout trades. And like I said, it's not the entire time through, all right? Once you start seeing the breakout trades start to slow down and their efficacy starts to drop, all right, time to start moving to long the ABC bottoms, hold it, look for the ABC tops, and kind of play it by ear. How do you manage huge funding fees associated with large leverage? That's a myth. All right. It's not based on your leverage. My funding fees are minuscule. And a lot of the times, because we're usually sitting short nowadays, funding fees are actually in my favor. I get paid to hold trades. Because at that point, if you have more people longing and shorting, they need someone to have the shares lended. And you are basically the bank at that point. Yeah, like I said, the fees for me have never eaten me alive. Because once again, I'm not hyper scalping. I'm not taking 80 trades in a day. No, I might get stopped out 4 or 5 times, unlucky over the course of a couple days and have to re-enter. And yeah, the fees are like, for me personally, on the challenge portfolio, the fees are like $20 an entry. And then if I do have to pay funding, I think it might be like $5 a day. But what's $5 a day for 2 weeks? That's about $70. So I'm paying $70 to hold the trade. Obviously, if the trade doesn't work out, that sucks. But if we hit our target, most of the time on this specific portfolio, we're making anywhere between $3,000 to $7,000. So $70 in fees versus that. Yokai, what do you think about Shiba Inu? I don't. I get, dude. I don't think about that coin at all. I think you bringing it up right now is the first time that has come across my brain in probably a good couple months. With a 50K portfolio, it's about like 5K a month in a bear market with your ABC strategy. Yes. If you can take advantage of shorting, yes. Now, hopefully the question is just, are you able to make 5K? Because if that 5K is what you need to pay your bills every single, let's theoretically, if you have a 50K portfolio and you can guarantee 10% a month from that portfolio, and you want that to be your source of income, all right? Because trading is a full-time job. It's a full-time job. All right, fuck what you heard. All right, to put it very bluntly, don't listen to these influencers. You know, they're like, I wake up in the morning, I check the charts for 20 minutes, and then, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I go to the gym, and I do this, and I do that, I go out to dinner. Yes. All right, all that happens. All right, but it's a full-time job in terms of having to watch these charts. So if this is going to be your sole source of income, 5K a month, all right, if that's your bills, you're not a full-time trader yet in terms of that can be your job. All right, because for me personally, if I need 5K a month in order to survive, you know, obviously with a little bit of wiggle room for some, you know, luxury and stuff like that, I want to be at least making 10K a month through trading. Because if you're bringing in 5K and that's going straight into your bank account and you're using that for normal day things, your account's not growing. It's not compounding. All right, the objective is to make this job easier and easier and easier and easier to hit that target. So hopefully that's how your question is. I just want to make that a point. What's your strategy for a spot account? ABC. It's the same thing. Absolutely the same thing. The only difference is I can't short. I can only long. Well, long, quote unquote, I can only buy and sell. To make 10K a month in trading, how much capital is needed? I mean, it's all dependent on there's so many variables. Trading strategy, how much is in your portfolio, all that kind of stuff. For me personally, I would say 100K. I would even, I don't like saying things like that. I really don't. To be honest with you guys, I do not like questions like that. Because for me personally, it's for ethical reasons, I can't really say that you're going to make this much or make that much or make that much. All right, so I'm always going to lowball you. I'll be willing to say 5% a month is like awesome. If you're making 5% a month on your portfolio through trading, you're doing well. Hey, Austin, how about Valorant or Warzone? No, I have not been playing much of that. Into it, but it's just not sticking the same. I've been playing New World. Okay, I want to give your $20. What? Sorry about that. It's fixed. Kite, do you strictly use Elliott waves as your main strategy? Yes, I use an alteration. So after researching Elliott Wave, I eventually found a book called Harmonic Elliott Wave, A Case for Modification. And it talked about simplifying Elliott Wave and some of the mistakes that he thought Elliott was making. And I kind of took that a step further and simplified it even more. Because my thing is, if day trading, you know, not necessarily taking a trade every single day, but day trading is going to be your job. The sole objective is to make it as easy as possible on your brain. Make this a 1, 2, 3 step process where there's no room for improvement, no room for degradation. It is static. There is a formula. There is code. Now, the code can be rewritten if things are really not going the right way, but look at the math. Is the math true? What's your win percentage? What's your average risk-reward ratio takeaway? If the math is there, continue. Obviously, there's always room for improvement. And obviously that improvement, most of the time, is going to be experience. How long have you been in the market? How many trends have you seen? How many hours have you lived through in this market and really felt the emotions? All that is a factor. If you're brand new to this, it takes a long time. I know I did not get the hang of this until like 2 years in. Even then, things were still changing, progressing, changing, progressing, getting better at holding my emotions back. Simplifying. I mean, my whole thing is simplification. The more simple your chart is, probably you're more profitable. Because there's not a whole lot of conflicting issues in your argument. Now, your argument might not be right. Right, you see that many, many times. I have opinions about the market where I think it's going to go. But I'm not afraid to take the opposite position because trading, in my opinions, completely separate. What do you use to set your alarms? Just on TradingView. You just go ahead and create a horizontal line, hit add alert, and then you can do either only once. I usually do only once, open-ended, and then just leave it. And the second it crosses, it dings your phone, and then my computer's right across from me when I'm sleeping. I'll just leave the speakers on just in case, and then it'll wake me up in my sleep. Can you show the colors of your candles on your charts? I think I have them slightly modified. I'm not quite sure. Is this, let me reset to default. Oh Jesus. No, I got them the same. I think what might be happening is, this, screen is using HDR. And I don't think that converts well, unless you're on a HDR screen. It might, I don't know, it just might be different. Oh, now I got all the little grid lines. Disgusting. Turn those off. You know what? I'll leave these ones small opacity. Yeah, okay. That's fine. How old were you when you started trading? I've been looking at the market ever since I was about 16. I bought Bitcoin around 16. I would say 15, 16. But I didn't really start trading until I was 18. Because that's when I actually got, you know, my Coinbase account handed over to me. Got everything transferred through. I was able to move my own money around freely. All that good stuff. So it's been about 3 years. 3.5 years. Almost 4. I have one question. What do you think of a trading site like yours, but only spot trading? Absolutely. It works the same. It's the same exact premise. The only thing is you can't take advantage of downside. That's the only thing. I mean, hell, that could be a good thing for you. Now, it is going to limit the amount of profit that you can make if you are successful shorting, but for some people, limiting their option to only one-sidedness might actually help their win percentage. Yeah, I only trade with price action. I don't use indicators. I'll look at the daily MACD every once in a while, but really not that much. Where are we going from here? I don't know, buddy. I don't know. Right now we're in a state of flux. As long as we're above the A, C wave's not ended. We can go all the way back to the all-time high. We can go past it. But if we come back down below, 42,800, I'll assume the C wave's done and I'll continue promoting shorts. Pionex, I've heard the name. I think they've reached out to me trying to get me to switch over from Bybit. I don't know. I've only really used Bybit. I've never had a problem with them. I don't see much reason to change. I haven't used any other platforms, so I can't really speak for their validity. Except ABC short, you would be waiting for currently any long idea that could happen. No, for me, like, all right, if we're following my method, all right, do what you want. Do what you want. I am not a financial advisor. I'm a kid on the internet, dude. But following my strategy, if you are not in a long from here or here, absolutely no reason to be in a long whatsoever. Like I said, as long as we're above 52,879, I have moved over some of my crypto, USDT into inverse perpetual, because at the moment there's a lot of upside potential. All right, but if we do happen to come back below that, I will be transferring back into USDT, no doubt. So that's my long breakout trade, if you want to call it that. But hey, where to find your ABC tutorials? Dude, you're looking at them. You're watching them. All right, the hundreds of streams. Hundreds. Covering different parts of the market. You can see my temperament, my emotions as things are moving. That's the most important part of this. All right, because me personally, I'm a kid. All right. Obviously, I love YouTube. I love talking to you guys. It's not my job, though. I trade the charts. I share my opinions. I really don't put a whole lot of time into pumping out videos because my whole thing is this is not something that you can cut. Every single part of the process of trading is important. So that's why live streams are so important. Now, not all the time in the live streams are we just talking about trading, but that's what it is. So to cut something down into a 15-minute, 20-minute video, I've done it in the past, but I always fail to meet my standards when that happens. The live streams give me ample time to talk about how I see things, and I feel like it's a better thing for everybody. And that way I can hop on here for, 2 to 4 hours, really get a lot of work in terms of answering questions, and then kind of leave for a little bit. Obviously, sometimes I'm bipolar and I'll have a 2-week, every single day, 6 hours a day streaming marathon when I feel like it. But there's so much. There's so much on the channel. Can you explain inverse perpetual and how to use it, or when to use it? Inverse perpetual, it's exceptionally good when you have either determined that you're at a bottom through obviously an ABC structure. You can hold inverse perpetual and trade long at the same time. Basically taking advantage of the best of both worlds, pretty much. You can have your actual BTC growing, and then you can have a long on the side that's gaining some extra profit. That's what inverse perpetual is for. Sorry, Austin, for repeating this question. Macro time frame is 1 to 2 hours, micro 5 to 15 minutes. Yes. Let me explain. So like 5 to 15 minutes. The reason why I would call that micro is not because of the time frame itself, but the forced perspective on the market that it gives you. All right. So when I'm talking about micro and macro, I'm talking about it from trend set perspective. All right. And what I mean by that is looking at a specific trend. All right. So obviously the super macro trend is the bull run itself. The uptrend, the downtrend, the uptrend. That's the super macro. All right. And then you have the macros. Downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. And then you have big macro, downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. Or uptrend, downtrend, uptrend. My bad. And then you have the medium micros. Downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. And then you have the micros, which are within that. Right there. So that's what I mean when I'm talking about macro, super macro, micro. But for a good rule of thumb, like you said, 1 to 2 hour to 4 hour is going to force your perspective to be looking at more macro setups. 5 to 15 minute, forcing you to look at smaller ones. So like I said, it's not necessarily about the time frame itself. It's about the perspective that you're holding on the market. Because I can be on a 15-minute chart, but on a 4K screen, I can see the medium micro and the micro. And in my mind's eye, I don't need it on the chart. I can see the macro and the super macro. And that's what I mean when I was talking about before. If you want to be a super scalper and take advantage of short-term time frame trades, you need to be able to know what the super macro is attempting to do or can possibly do. You need to know what the medium macros are possibly going to do or attempting to do. You need to know what the medium micros are attempting or possibly going to do. You need to know what the micros are going to do, and then the super micro. You need to be able to track all of that in your head in order to trade the smaller time frames. That's why I said before, if you're going to be playing the smaller time frames, you're probably going to have a less win percentage because most people aren't doing that. They're just paying attention to what's in front of their eyeballs. Have you heard of the game Star Atlas? We were talking about it a little bit earlier. Okay, so like I don't want anyone to feel like I'm hating on Star Atlas. What I'm simply saying is you have to ask yourself, is the game developers trying to cash in on the crypto craze that is NFTs, Or are they making a genuinely good game with crypto as a side feature will give it longevity and make sure that's a more prosperous and profitable game? My bet is on the latter. I'm not discounting it. I'm just saying if the game is going to be good, it's not going to come out during the bull run. And everybody's looking to make money, which you're probably not going to make money in the bear market. My whole thing is like, you can't start hyping up a game until you have a physical working product in your hands, not in somebody else's going through a gameplay walkthrough, but in your hands. My thing is, everyone's like, well, I want to invest into the ships and everything like that right now because if the game comes out and it's super good, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, all right, take that gamble. But my thing is if the game's going to be actually good, there's always going to be a buying opportunity 2 to 4 days into the game when you can actually test it out, see that's a good game. Now you can go, okay, well, I think this is going to last a very long time. You buy into the market, and if the game's still good 2 years down the line, those ships are still going to be worth money. So there's no reason to bet the farm on something that you don't have any idea what is going to happen yet. You got to see it. Have you tried bots? No, I haven't messed around with bots at all. I've had someone give me an introduction, you know, and try to walk me through the process, and I really appreciated their time, but me personally, I don't find bots to really be my jazz. And it's still under maintenance. What is going on? Do I stake USDT? I haven't staked anything. I haven't staked a single thing this bull run. In my Coinbase, I have a pretty sizable amount of USDC on standby. That obviously is considered staking, because all staking is like an APR from a bank account. But it's not a whole lot. I personally just don't buy into all the shit coins that are like 800% APR, you know, stuff like that. Anybody ever heard of the term of it looks too good to be true? It is. Yeah, that's the textbook definition of it. And people are still going for it. Like, I get it. But you got to think, like, a lot of these coins, what are they going to look like when the market collapses? When the next bear market hits? Will they bounce back? Some of them might. I'm not willing to take that chance. I've made my money. My money's good. I don't need to take a chance. I can take risks. Educated, calculated, mathematical risks. But I'm not taking gambles. Has Windows 11 had any problems with programs? Absolutely none. It's been running flawlessly. You know, the only thing you got to do to get it is, you know, sell your soul to Microsoft real quick and let them, you know, scan your computer. Have I tried keto diet? No. So intermittent fasting and keto are essentially working off of the same process. It's all about lowering your insulin enough to promote ketone production. I just think that intermittent fasting is a better approach to getting that process done from a mental standpoint, because keto, if done like to the fullest extent, you really have to go through a lot of processes in order to like make sure that you're, you know, not getting any carbs, you know, all that kind of stuff. Intermittent fasting is not changing what you eat. So like you can still eat the same food that you're eating. Yeah, it's still unhealthy for you, but through the fasting process, it's way less unhealthy for you because one, you're probably not going to be eating as much of that same unhealthy food, as well as that because of the fasting, your insulin hits like an all-time low, no insulin whatsoever, and then it goes into ketone production. Oh, we got a Hello Fresh bot. This is new. I'm just kidding. That's my friend. What's my opinion on Windows 11? All I'm saying is rounded windows. It's a game changer. I didn't think it would make much of a difference, but it changed my whole life. You know, my perspective on the world. You know, everything was boxes, straight lines, right angles. But they just added those rounded corners. I mean, look at this. Do you see these round? Look at these corners. Entire life, paradigm shifted. And obviously, there's UI changes with the start menu, and I really like the sound design for Windows 11 most of all. Whenever you get like pop-ups or like errors or anything like that, it's so soothing. It makes you feel like everything's gonna be okay. It's just a small blip on the radar. Oh man, my anxiety has gone down so much using Windows 11. Microsoft, pay me. Windows XP has round corners. Man, I used Windows XP for like maybe a month at my granddad's house when I was 6 years old. So I wasn't paying much attention to the Windows. My bad. I was too busy playing Flash games. All right. I'll check Algo. I really don't know what Algo is doing differently than the rest of the market, but we'll check it for you. I got you, buddy. All right, take it back. I'll take it back. Algo is in a much different place. All right, but what do you see? All right, you don't need me as validation. All right, do you see what I see? It's an ABC. So, I mean, if you wanted me to get on here and point out this ABC and say, yeah, if we come back above the A, I would be long. Yeah, go for it. Not financial advice. Like I said, just a 21-year-old kid on the internet with a swollen foot for some reason. To be determined what's going on with that. But yeah, that's what I would do. Yes, I'm 21. I feel like I've been screaming at the microphone. I'm starting to sound like Alex Jones. Like my voice is getting scratchy. I feel like in order to like perfect, like if you were trying to do an Alex Jones impression, you need at least like a good 5 years of just drinking whiskey and like smoking cigars. I feel like that's how you perfect that voice. That's what it becomes. Yeah, I switched back to my my old microphone. This is the AKG C214, which is very sad. Unfortunately, ribbon microphones are notorious for having like really low resistance to electrical noise, and in a computer environment, ribbon microphones do not shine. When you're playing high intensive games and there's so much, electricity going through your graphics card, and you got a really high powered monitor and stuff like that, tons of cable noise. And since I get feedback to my headset to hear myself in real time, I'm just hearing cable noise all the time. So I went back to this one. It's just a regular condenser. Should have a different sound to it. So I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna do with that other microphone. 'Cause, I mean, it was $1,200 microphone. I can probably try to sell it on Craigslist, but I don't want to get rid of it. It's kind of sentimental because I mean, I just like audio in terms of like just making voices sound good. And I had a bunch of condensers. I had a couple Sures, which are dynamics, and then that was my first ribbon microphone. How's the Silent Retreat project? That's miles down the road. Yeah, that's like something that's 10 years down the road. Which monitors are you using? I'm using I think IPS panels are important. I'm using, I don't know what this panel is. I'm using the Asus PG27UQ. It's 4K 144 hertz HDR. I don't know. Okay, so it's quantum dot IPS. I think both of my monitors are IPS if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I think this one's VA because it's a curved monitor. I think like most monitors that are curved are VA panels, and then this one's an IPS. I've been thinking about possibly getting an ultra wide monitor. I've had one in the past and I really like it. It's a world of a difference, especially for gaming. But I can't like really pull myself to do it because one, it's a big change in terms of like moving the monitors around and finding out the right configuration. Two, I spent $2,000 on this monitor, and to have it as a side monitor just doesn't feel right. What games do I play? I haven't done like a whole lot of gaming up until recently. Offhand, usually playing Call of Duty, just because it's kind of like a mindless game where you kind of just turn your brain off for a little bit. But recently I've been playing a lot of New World, Amazon's recent release. It's an MMO, and I'm having tons of fun with it. It's actually really good. It took me a little bit to really get into it, but once I was into it, I was hooked. Amazon turning everybody into Prime members, even the gamers. Do I have a girlfriend? No. What do you think of using a 50-inch 4K for trades? I personally think that's a little bit too large, in my opinion. I think like I don't know, man. Like the largest I think I would ever go for a monitor is like 43 inches. I know, what's their name? Shoot. Forgot the name of the company. But they have a 43-inch 4K OLED monitor. And I think it goes up to 120 hertz or 144 hertz. Gigabyte. All right, Unkind. Peace out, buddy. Yeah, but I mean, like, I'll just pick up like a cheap 4K, like a 32-inch 4K. You'll be rocking. I think you can pick one up for like what, like 250, 300. Is new people joining the market a good or bad thing? Monetary wise, obviously, is a good thing. You know, more money coming in the market, it's a good thing. Promotes the asset. It starts to give it more stability. It's just unfortunate that the culture that surrounds crypto is like the siren's call of 9-to-5s are bad. Don't work for somebody else. 9-to-5s are bad. There's nothing bad about working a 9-to-5. Right? If that's what you like doing, if you're doing well at, do that. But too many people will like get into this and they just throw everything at it. And yeah, some get lucky, and those are the ones that you see on news articles. And everybody thinks that that's gonna be them. But this is a zero-sum game. Someone's got to lose. And unfortunately, a lot of money is lost trying to escape the 9-to-5. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. Here, I got you. I know exactly the correct answer to this question. There you go. All right. Is new people joining the market a good or bad thing? That link I just sent is my response to that question. It's neither good nor bad. That's like, I love that story so much. My mom just thought like Bitcoin was for criminals. She really didn't get the whole thing. She just called it fake money. My granddad had absolutely no clue how anything worked. Like, I sat him down one time when I was about like 15 years old. I was like, all right, look at this game that I'm playing right here. I was playing CSGO at the time, Counter-Strike Global Offensive. And in the game, there is skins for guns. And the skins are separate from the guns. They can be bought and sold on an open marketplace for real money. So I was like, Granddad, you see this gun right here, and do you see what it looks like right now? And I put the skin on, and I go, do you see what it looks like now? All right. That difference is done through what's called a skin, which is a virtual asset that can be traded between electronic accounts, and it is bought and sold for money. I was like, that's basically what Bitcoin is, except it doesn't turn AKs into flaming dragons. Which, granted, it makes Bitcoin sound way less cool. Hey, Kite, appreciate your streams a lot. Thank you. What do you say to FTT? I've never heard of it, to be honest with you. But hey, as long as Bitcoin's in the zone, you want to take a chance on it, go ahead, be my guest. Hey, I won't deny that when we're in a bull market, shit, you can throw your money at a dartboard with all the altcoins lined up on it. You're probably gonna make something. But difference is, like, not a lot of people know when to get out. Me personally, like, shitcoins are a ticking time bomb. Now, don't be, mad at me for saying shitcoins if it's a coin that you really like. All right, for me, if it's not Bitcoin, Litecoin, or Ethereum, it's a shitcoin. All right, there's definitely good projects out there, but they got to prove themselves. They got to be around for, like, another 10 years, and then we'll see what's up. FTT is a coin of FTX. I don't know how I feel about this. Like I get it. It's like an incentive to save on fees for most websites and stuff like that. Binance, I think, was one of the first exchanges to offer their own coin as a fee payment, which is cool. But I don't know, like, yeah, if the website's doing well, then the coin will do well. We saw that with Binance Coin. Did very well. BNB took off. People made a lot of money on it. I don't know. You're just taking bets on exchanges now. Yo, big man, do you play League of Legends? I played a lot. And thank you for the donation, by the way. I really appreciate it. I played a lot of League of Legends between the ages of 13 and 14. I mean, I no-life that game. But I have not played recently at all. I like League. The community's pretty toxic, in my opinion. And the only problem is like you leave for like a couple months and you come back and there's so many new champions. You have to learn their skill sets, and so like you can't take a break from the game or else you lose the meta. You have no clue what's going on, and everybody's yelling at you because you have no clue what's going on. So that's why I don't play League anymore. It's not that I don't like the game, it's just I've been away from it for so long that relearning the meta is just not the move for me. I'd rather stick to new games that are coming out. Battlefield 2042. I was playing the open beta today. It's very nice, very good game so far from what I can tell. New World's pretty fun. Obviously Call of Duty. I haven't played the open beta for Vanguard yet. I gotta see for myself if it's something I'm gonna buy. I don't know. I unfortunately I pretty much buy every single Call of Duty. I didn't buy Advanced Warfare, and I think that's it. I think I skipped Advanced Warfare. But I pretty much bought every single Call of Duty except for Advanced Warfare and World War II. I did not play those. What do you think about DAG? I don't know, man. I'll give you the same opinion like I said with FTT. I haven't heard of it personally. I don't know, man. I unless someone reputable in my life comes into my space and explains the coin to me, I typically don't. I don't go actively searching for the next hot project. I'm making fantastic money trading reputable assets. I really don't need to go find the next gold rush. Obviously, it's nice. I love that those types of opportunities are out there for people. But like I said before, man, like so many people get burnt. And I just, in no way, shape, or form do I want to be associated with that kind of stuff. We got into it for a little bit when the market was really pumping, but I was very upfront with what the whole thing was with those coins. Wasn't promoting to get rich. I was like, I'm in here for a short period of time. Once we kind of moon for a little bit, I'm out, and I'm staying out. All right, guys. I'm gonna log off. We've been streaming for a good couple hours. How long have we been streaming today? 2 hours. All right, so good stream. I feel like a lot of information was covered. Like I said, right now I'm chilling on the sidelines. We took the profits on our hedge long. Obviously I wanted more. I did wanted more, and I thought the market was gonna move lower. But this is where we're sitting right now. This is how things are moving. So like I said, until we come back to below 52,860, I have some money in inverse perpetual to take advantage of upside. I'm not sitting in any shorts. If something does develop, I'll post it on the Discord. But between that and the all-time high, I mean, we can fluctuate between that all the way up to the top. And if, obviously if we break the all-time high, I will most likely be on stream. And we've talked about kind of what my strategy is going to be with that in terms of the early stages of the breakout of the all-time high. I will be taking breakout trades. So I'm going to log off. Probably going to go take a nap. And yeah, like I said, I do want to get on a regular schedule for streaming sometime soon. I do want to start another challenge account. To be determined what's going to go on. I got to figure out my foot situation first. I'm hoping, like I said, if it's not gone in 3 days, I'll go to a doctor. All right. And I'm kind of like, I'm doing all the normal shit. Like I'm elevating my foot above my heart so that, it can kind of drain and if it is a blood problem, it can oxygenize the blood to make it better. If it's a fluid problem, obviously, it's different because there's just skin tissue. Lowering my salt intake, stuff like that. Seeing if it's just a normal issue just because of my diet and unhealthy habits. Obviously, if it's not going away, it could be something more serious. Maybe, liver, heart, whatever, blood clot, whatever the hell it might be. Zaza, thank you very much. Julian, see ya. Crypto Keeper, have a good one, man. Misa, thank you. One Up Life, have a nice day. Thanks for streaming. As always, man, I appreciate it. Crypto Fox, thank you. Johnny Crypto, take care, buddy. Chicken nugget or chicken strip? Chicken nugget, man. I'm a chicken nugget guy. You catch me at Chick-fil-A, chicken nuggets. Nah, it's not trauma related. I haven't sprained it or anything like that. Trying to figure out who I want to play for the outro. I tell you what. This is like an up and coming artist. He deserves a shout out. He's Ray Gorin on Spotify. He's got 43k monthly listeners. I'm gonna play a couple songs on the outro. If you like them, listen to them for a little bit. I'm gonna play The Astronaut first, and then probably I Was Wrong. Actually, no, I'm gonna play I Was Wrong first, and then actually no, I'm gonna play Astronaut and then I Was Wrong, and then whatever other songs. But check them out. You might like them. But I appreciate your time today, guys. Good morning, and make smart decisions as always. All right, you guys ready? I mean, I can't do the whole camera thing, you know, staring to the camera at all. But yeah, we go ahead and get this loaded up, and we can get going. I don't know if he was actually, is he on title? Hey, I think he might be. He is. Okay. All right, guys. I appreciate your time. I will see you soon. And hopefully we got a good trade going. All right, guys. I can't find my thing. There it is. All right. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Ship in my own universe as the world just passes by, and everybody thinks I'm always high, 'cause there's a galaxy in my mind, and it gets so lonely seeing life below me as an astronaut in the sky. I'm just the astronaut. I don't know anything. I'm just floating through time on my own rocket ship in my own galaxy as the world just passes by, and nobody knows if I'll ever come down. And the truth is, neither do I. And it gets so lonely seeing life below me as an astronaut in the sky. So it gets so lonely seeing life below me as an astronaut.
You got a diamond as a heart, you shine in the dark, and you live for the nightlife. You're rough around the edges, but underneath you're precious, so I tried to be your daylight. I gave you everything I had when you didn't even ask, 'cause I didn't understand that you like when it rains, 'cause you're addicted to pain. I never wanted to say to myself I was wrong. You didn't wanna be changed, you didn't wanna be saved. I didn't want to admit to myself I was wrong about you. Hey, 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 hey. I had an ego as a brain, and it drove me insane that I couldn't never fix you. And that's the reason that I stayed when you put me through all this pain. But I do it all over again. I gave you everything I had when you didn't even ask, 'cause I didn't understand that you like when it rains, 'cause you're addicted to pain. I never wanted to say to myself I was wrong. You didn't wanna be changed, you didn't wanna be saved. I didn't want to admit to myself I was wrong about you. Hey, 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 hey. You didn't wanna be, you didn't wanna be, I didn't wanna see. You didn't wanna be, you didn't wanna be, I didn't wanna see. That you like when it rains, 'cause you're addicted to pain. I never wanted to say to myself I was wrong. You didn't wanna be changed, you didn't wanna be saved. I didn't want to admit to myself I was wrong about you. Hey, 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 hey.
All the ladies to the dance. Oh yeah. Left the roof off, I'm a winner. Now my neck froze, I'm a winner. We could go up with the lights down low. Girl, it's too hot to keep on these clothes. Poom poom shorts with the Louis. Wind up your waist and be Gucci.